1-800-GET-A-DATE. As soon as I finish getting through with showing y'all MyLabs Plus, probably. Okay, the first number is no. Yeah, get a date one is, yeah. Okay, where did my text go? Come on, let's go. There. And let's go with the first one. TCTC Help Desk is 646-1779. That is for anything having to do with your username or password at TCTC. It's anything having to do with your Blackboard, anything having to do with anything at Tri-County Tech, registration, all that good stuff. I don't know about this one because I hadn't used it in a long time, but for Pearson, which is the people that's ahead of MyLabs Plus, it's 1-800-677-6337. Now they have a lot of different numbers, okay? So they may have a different one on the website. You use whichever one you want to use. But what I would call them for is if you ever have an issue with your computer not being able to pull up MyLabs Plus. Now, if you haven't registered, you should do that in the lab downstairs, so that way there's no problems, okay? Where you will have double the problems if you try to register at home and your computer's got protective software on it against malware or viruses or whatever, then you're going to have a problem on top of a problem. So my suggestion to you is to go ahead and do the registration here in a computer lab, and then pull it up at your house. And if you have a problem there, the software problem, it's usually because of protective software. You might want to disable it, and then once you get on it, then you can, it should be okay. I think I counted 8 of y'all that has registered. And I think there's like 15 in the class or 13 in the class. There's 5 that hasn't. Y'all need to get registered as soon as possible, okay? And there's a website. Oh, this is the website. After you go through Blackboard and after you registered through Blackboard, does everybody understand that? After you go through Blackboard, you can go to www.tctc.mylabsplus.com and log in that way. The reason you can, or the reason you would want to, is because Blackboard is always what? Down. So that's the way you can get in without having to go through Blackboard. But do not go there until after you go through Blackboard and get registered, because they want you to go through Blackboard for some reason. I personally think it's to force you to use Blackboard. That's the reason, and give somebody a job over in the library somewhere. Okay? That's why I think they make you go through Blackboard. All right, everybody got those numbers? And everybody got that? All right, so that takes care of that. Now, let's go to MyLabs Plus, because I don't know how many of you have had it before. I know that my students have had it before, but I don't know about the rest of you. So let's go and look at that. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but well, let me see. These people over here haven't had me, and you have had it. Okay, you and you. I haven't seen you and you. Have you had MyLabs Plus before?
I didn't.
You had it at Greenville Tech. How about you? Are you new today?
Well, me today, but I was in the class.
Which one were you in? Okay. Okay. Then you're used to it. How about you four? Because you haven't had me before. Have y'all used MyLabs Plus before? Okay, so we need to go ahead and touch on it a little bit. All right. The rest of y'all sleep. No, I'm just kidding. When you pull up MyLabs Plus, it'll look like this. When you go into MyLabs Plus, Where is it? There. It'll look like this. Of course, it won't have 5 or 6 classes, but yours will show up as Math 111. You click on Math 111, and here's your dashboard. This is called a dashboard calendar. All right. Your assignments will show up in your calendar. The day that they start and the day that they end. So you can't say you don't know when something is due. Don't call me and ask me when something's due when you haven't even been in the dadgum calendar. All right, because it'll show you when something is started and something is due. There's 4 buttons over here that you need to be aware of. 1, homework. Now, I'm not going to go into homework because you should know what homework is. Homework is homework. Now, I will go in it and show you a homework question because there's some things I need to show you. The second button is quizzes and tests. That's self-explanatory. I'll go into it and show you some things that you need to ignore. Grade book. What do you think the grade book is for? Show you your grade at the end of the semester. Show you your homework grade at the end of the semester. Show you your test grade at the end of the semester. Show you your overall grade at the end of the semester. I'll still get 3 emails. What's my grade? And exactly. And chapter contents. That's how you pull up your ebook. So we'll start with homework. I'm going to show you a couple of problems, and the reason I'm going to show you the problems is algebra refresher, you need to do that. You need to go ahead and get started on that. Let's just pick out one. I'm just going to pick one out and go here. And this box right here, that's not one I want. I want one that has a video on it. There we go. All right. Look on the right side, there's 4 or 5 other buttons that you pull up under the question help. These buttons are different learning styles. They are to get you over the hump. You've got about 25 or 30 problems to do, and it's kind of hard to get to question 15 if you can't get past question 13. So these are some little supplements to help you get over that problem you can't do. First thing is a guided tutorial. The guided tutorial is like the tutor that's sitting in the tutor lab that asks you 15 questions just to get to the end of the problem. All right? Now, some people like that. Some people, if you ever heard, I like to know what I'm doing as I'm learning it, that's the person that likes this. They like to see what's actually being done, and they like to answer these little questions before you finish the problem. And it'll go through and ask you, what's the first term? You say 9x, that'd be 81x squared. And then it'll ask you the second term, and blah, blah, blah. That's the help me solve this. View an example is the other tutor that's sitting in the room. He's the tutor, that's the tutor that goes, okay, you want to take 2x plus 7 is equal to 2. You minus 7 on both sides. That's going to give you 2x is equal to minus 5. And then you divide the minus 5 by 2, and x is equal to negative whatever. Boom, 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 boom. No questions, no small talk, just show me how to do the problem. And that's what this one is. View an example is just what it says. View an example. Boom, 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 boom. No questions, just show me how to do it. That's a different learning style. And then you got your visual learners. Your visual learners, animation. Now these are not sophisticated as mine, but I'm just kidding. But they're a whole lot more sophisticated. I wish I could learn how to do them like this. And, okay. I guess I have to hit it again. What happened? Okay, whatever. And play.
In this example, we are going to square a binomial that has a minus sign separating the terms, 3x minus 4. Remember that squaring an expression in parentheses means that we multiply the expression by itself. We multiply the first terms, 3x and 3x.
Using the FOIL method. Everybody with me? So that's a visual learner. And I can't get out of it. There we go. And then for you readers that like to read, hit the textbook and it takes you to the point in the textbook that the material is being introduced. Okay? Eventually. Sometime in the near future. We're getting there. And on page 870, that's where you find the rule of exponents. Okay? Now you can also print this out, which I will show you somewhere right there. I'll show you in the chapter contents how you can print it out by sections. Now, all that's nice. What if you want to print out the whole homework assignment and do it by paper and pencil at home, then type in the answers? If you want to do that, you hit the print button and then print the whole homework assignment. Do the problems at home or do the problems paper and pencil, then go back into it and type the answers in. Now this button right here is the best button. If you were a good teacher, I would know how to do this. You suck. And you send that to me. And the good thing about this is that I will get these questions throughout the 24-hour period from the time I have class to the time I start class again. Now, some of y'all that had me before, how many questions would I get every class? Yeah. And that depends. That's the day y'all were asleep. I did get that many. Okay. Okay, whatever. Anyway, the beginning of each class, that's what I do. Office hours. Students that have problems with questions, I send them in. If I don't get questions, then what am I to assume? That you know everything. You know how to do that material. Not that you know everything, but you know how to do that material. If I get questions, then I go over them and then we go on to the next section, or we finish the section that we're in, or whatever. So, you know, as the old saying is, you get out of it what you put into it. If you don't send me no questions, I don't slow down the class. If you send me questions, I'll slow down the class. So the speed of the class is determined upon you. In other words, you determine how fast this class goes. I don't. Okay? And you'll send me that, and I go over to my handy-dandy email. It logs me out every 15 seconds. And look at there. And the reason I know that that's it is because there is the message that I typed. It shows up instantly. And I'll take that message and I'll put it over here. I don't have a 111 yet. I didn't make one before class. But I'm just going to put it in the 110. I'll have a 111 over here. Yeah, just come on in whenever. That's fine. Lunch. How was lunch? Did you have a nice lunch?
No.
Oh, you had 5 flat tires, didn't you?
No, I like my keys in my car again. And then I
I used to take a key and put it in your gas tank. That's what I do. So if you ever want to break into my truck, well, the thing, the door. The door, okay? Huh. And then I have some other places in case I ever get in a place where I'm not supposed to be and I lock my keys in my car. I can always get out of the place that I'm not supposed to be. I have been in a place that I wasn't supposed to be and I locked my keys in my car. That was not a good thing. And I learned from that. Okay. Syllabus for Math 111. I need to send a syllabus. What? What'd you say?
Anger management session. You have anger management.
No, that's a blanket email. It says, "Dear team, sounds some good information here. Be quiet."
Oh, from Miss Photo.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta send out this email. I thought I sent y'all syllabus.
You just sending it really angry emails.
I did. I sent out an angry email.
Yeah, all like in caps and lots of exclamation points.
Well, I'm sorry. Some people just don't read their emails and they don't listen in class. I'm sorry. I get irritated. All right. So that's how you use that. So this button right here, Ask My Instructor, that sets the tone for the class or the speed of the class. Don't come in here like Mr. Smith used to do. I got a homework question. What section is on? I know. I'm just kidding. I think it was on 10.1 or 10.2. What number was it? I think it was number 15. I'm not going to look up your question for you. You just send it when you go back to the homework. You send it, and I'll go over it. Because that takes up what? Takes up time that I could be teaching or going over another problem. So if you don't have the ability to to hit a button and to hit a send button, if that's too much work, then we need to assign somebody to help you hit that button. Maybe send you to a couple of counselors to figure out how to hit the button. Okay? Let me remind you about texting in class too. All right. Remember, go outside if you need to text because I'm talking. All right, who's got questions on the homework? Anything? Okay? Now, quizzes and tests. I don't have one loaded, but I'll show you in just a minute. These quizzes and tests are generic. These are not my test. These are somebody else's test. I mean, these are generic tests that come with the book. It doesn't hurt you, doesn't help you. Okay? So you don't have to take them. You can take them if you just want to know if you know the material, but my test will not be like these. My test, course tools, assignment, I'll pull in one right quick. Import. Next. What time was y'all's class? 11, Tuesday and Thursday? Test, unit 1 test. Okay. Let's see, today is the 23rd, so I'm going to set it for today, and time is 11 o'clock. I'm going to shut it down. Oh, we've got somebody. Oh my God, we got a test. Oh my God, we got a test. I know there's somebody out there already freaking out. Y'all need some medicine. You need some medicine. Huh? Okay, I'll fix it. It's 1 o'clock. Let's make it 1 o'clock. And, I know somebody's already out there. We already got a test. Y'all need some medicine. There we go. Save and assign. So, let's go and pull up the test now and let you see what it looks like. Now, some of y'all that haven't had my test before, it's a little bit different. Thought I hit test. Why didn't it? I know, but it's not supposed to go there. It's supposed to go. Now nothing's working. No. I know the reason. Not in Firefox. That's probably the reason. Hold on a minute. It's Bush's fault. It's always Bush's fault.
I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when you do that, when you sign in from Blackboard, is it your Tri-County, UTC login, Blackboard login? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's your regular login, and this is just your login and password that you registered with on the Blackboard. It's- Okay? Now this is going to be a college algebra test, but you get the gist. All right, here's the test. And it's going to ask you, it's going to say, are you sure you want to start this test? Now the reason it asks you that is some people don't realize that if there's thunderbolts and lightning bolts outside coming down from the sky, that you shouldn't take a test. Or if you're got 7 kids and they're all running around half naked and got spaghetti on their head, that's when you should not take a test. And there's a flood outside, you should not take a test. Some people have to be told when to take a test and when not to take a test. When it's quiet, when everybody's in bed, when you don't have things going on around you, that's when you take a test. That's why it's asking that. Start the test. And you'll see that some of the questions are bonus questions, some of them are math questions. And that's the way all my tests are, except for the final exam. When's the last day of class for this semester? Well, this is last semester, but it's 26th. Judgment Day. That's supposed to be Judgment Day, you know, from the movie Terminator. Okay, not from the Bible. Don't get offended. Somebody got offended with September the 11th. And I asked him, I said, well, what are you offended by? Are you offended by December 7th, 1941? You know what they said? What's that? If you don't know your dates well enough, don't come to me with you're offended. There's a math question. Of course, there's about half and half. It's usually a third or a half or a quarter, usually, that I put the bonus questions in there. And you keep going, and when does the homework terminate? Midnight before the night test. That's what it's supposed to, but I don't do it. 20-60-20 or 20-20-60. Math question. When is the week of finals? Only one that has a week. There's December 7th, 1941. There's the quotient rule, difference quotient. Does Hubert replace your lowest test grade with a final exam? No. Difference quotient. You're going to see a lot of the difference quotient in calculus. Will Hubert's final exam be online? Yes. I need to take that no off because somebody's going to get it wrong. Notice all these are pretty simple. These are, again, when is the week of finals? It's the only week there are. Well, I answered that one. Another math question. Another math question. Another math question. It's not supposed to bundle them up all together, so I don't know why it's doing that. And you see, just I don't know how many we got. 20 out of 27. What is Hubert's email address and cell phone? It's the only one that's right. Where's all of Hubert's homework and tests done? In the kitchen. That's the best place. Why does Hubert not entertain extra credit, extra points, or dropping any grades at the end of the semester? Because he wants me to fail and live in a ditch. I will accept that answer. And I think that's about it. And Marine Corps. And the reason I answered all the bonus questions is, let's say that you don't have a clue what's going on. You don't know what day it is. You don't know what your last name is. You don't know what test is. You don't know you have a test. You can walk in and make a what? You can make a 40 on my test and not even answer the first math question. Will people fail my class with lower than a 40? Yep. 26s, 28s, 32s. should not procreate. I will have those people. You explain it. Do you ever meet somebody that has failed my math class? You say, oh, I'm taking algebra. I'm taking trig. Oh, who you got? I got Hubert McClure. Oh, I had him. I failed with a 23. You need to back off slowly from that person, because that person is either going to rub some kind of stupid on you or rub some kind of lazy on you. There's no way to make below a 40 or below a certain number in my class. If you ever meet somebody that does, back away slowly and make that mental note. Okay? So that's how do you review it? You hit review. You can go and review any test through what button? Gradebook, because that's where all your grades are stored. So all your tests are stored there. You can hit review and you can do what? Print it out. I would suggest printing out the highest test, because at the end of the semester, what is my final exam? It's made out of old tests. It's made out of old tests. Okay? And all you need to do is look over your old test to remember what was tested, and that's all you got to do. Some instructors would also limit your options to answer the homework questions to 3 times, and then it would count against your grade. That's almost like a piano teacher telling you to go home and practice, but no more than 15 minutes. What is homework questions? Practice. Why would a teacher tell you, well, you can't answer it 3 times, after that you can't do it anymore? That's just like telling a student, go home and practice, but don't practice more than 15 minutes a day. Why would you do that? These are the same teachers that do that. They say that that would be cheating. But they give you back your test in the classroom and tell you can use your test to review, don't they?
No.
They don't?
No, you can look at it, you can take pictures of it, you're going to turn it back in.
You know why? You know why they do that? Because they're too lazy to make a new test. So they use the same test over and over and over. Those are also the teachers that have a retention rate of 17%. You don't even want to get me started on that. All right, grade book. That's pretty self-explanatory. Grade book. This is where you find your grade. Look, test. I finished my test. I haven't finished all my homework because there's a big gap there. The reason I finished all my tests is because I only loaded 1 test. So according to in MyLab Plus's eyes, I've finished with all my tests because there's no other test loaded. All right? Let's say, what's my average? What's my test average? Well, I go down here and I hit test. There's my test average. My test average is 40.74. What's my homework average? Well, I go down and pull up homework. Homework, I suck. I got a 0. So that means 40 times 60%, this comes out to be, what, 4 times 24, so that's 24 off of 40, which would be 36. So I got a 36, and I got a 0, so I got a F. Okay? 0 times 20% is 0, so 36 plus 0 is 36, so I suck. Okay? Or 26. What if I want to know my final grade? Well, then I hit what? All assignments. And that'll give me my final grade, which is that grade right there. It'll even show me the calculation. Look at there. Wow. Gradebook shows me everything having to do with my grade. Now, y'all think I'm being sarcastic and I'm trying to insult your intelligence. Miss Nix, am I crazy? I will get students walk up to me the last day of class and they will ask me, where do I find my grade? Well, how do I know what I made in here before I go into the final? And I say, I have no idea. These people actually procreate too. In other words, they have little children. Chapter contents. This is how you get to the book. Click on it. I think we start, I don't know what chapter we start on. Anybody know? Huh? 8. Go to chapter 8. Hit the section 8.1 and multimedia text. Multimedia text is another word for online book. And eventually it'll come up and you can print up to 10 pages. Yep. And hit print. And it'll run up to 10 pages. Okay? Now you can print that out, put holes in it, print the next section according by the syllabi, the next section, print one unit out, put it in your notebook. All you bring class is a notebook. It's up to you. Remember, I don't care what you bring to class as long as you bring pencil and paper and stuff like that. I don't want you sitting there just looking at me. I can't stand that. All right? Bring a pencil and paper to write notes. That irritates a lot of teachers when students do that. Deadheads. All right? That's where and if you turn to page 554, it'll look exactly like this if you have a book. Okay? Now, what else can you do with chapter contents? Well, you can go to study plan. Now, let me explain this to you because I think it's important that you understand this. Every teacher at Tri-County Tech, well, I don't know about the other departments, but in the math department, each full-time instructor is in charge of 2 or 3 courses. I'm in charge of Math 110 and 111. All right? That's just these 2 classes, one we took last semester and this semester. I set up this thing according to the syllabus, this MyLabs Plus according to the syllabus. Well, when I put my homeworks on there, I got a nasty email from my department head that says, "You got too much homework." Okay, well, I'm sorry. I would hate for them to have to work and learn something. So I have to put it down to less than 25 questions or less than 20 questions. So I had to cut out a lot of the homework problems. So if you'll look, let's look at 8.1 homework. I can't do it. Let's go back and I'll show you 8.1 homework. 8.1 homework. And you'll, okay, I did put a lot on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. That's good. 35 questions. All right. Probably this is a very simple. I think it's like finding the hypotenuse or finding the sine, cosine, tangent. Real simple. All right. If you go to the study plan for 8.1, you're probably going to see. I'm sorry. Chapter contents, chapter 8.1, and study plan. There's more than that. Okay. The more than that is extra problems that I couldn't put in the homework because I got my hand slapped for having too much homework. All right. And I did fuss about some of them that they needed to be extra. Some of them I were able to put more than 20 or 25 based on the content. But this one, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah. So there's extra problems on there. The study plan is just like the chapter test, the generic test. They do not help you. They help you understand, but they don't hurt you. They don't hurt you as a grade. They help you understand. They don't help your grade, but the long term they do help your grade. But as far as points in your grade book, they don't. So you can take them all day long. If you want to zero on your homework and you want to work as many study plans as you can, that's fine. But I would at least do my homework first. That way you'll get graded to 20% and then do those as extra. You can also do extra by doing this. If you notice, I'm doing a problem. Convert to, no yawning in class. Convert the following radian measure to degree measure. So I'm going to multiply by 180 over pi, and that's going to give me 45 times 3, 4 going to 180, right? 45 times 3. 45 times 3 is what? 165? Somebody help me out. Is it 135? What'd I say?
That's 60.
Okay, 135. All right, so I'm gonna put in 20 degrees. I'm gonna get it wrong. I would love to write these messages right here for the computer people. Wouldn't you? You suck. Okay, I'm gonna put 30 degrees in there. You should quit and live in a ditch. And then 60 degrees. You gonna get a degree in what? All right, now that puts a big old X beside that homework problem. This is homework as well as study plan, doesn't matter. Now, I can go down and hit, where is my, do another question like this one?
You went to the next problem.
Oh, it automatically regenerates. Okay, it automatically regenerates. Some of the homeworks you have to hit, what is it called? Similar question. And it'll regenerate. It automatically regenerates. It's the same problem because it's got an X. So I'm going to do this one. So that'll be 180 over 3, which is 60 degrees. So this one's 60. I know what I'm doing now. It's 60. And watch the little, you got to watch real quick because it's going to do it and then I got to go back. Hit check answer. And as soon as I hit this, watch the X. It turns into a check. Go back and look at it. And that turns into a check. So what should everybody turn in on their homework? Do they? 36s, 22s. We're only talking about 10% of the class. In every single one of my classes, it doesn't matter. I always have a deadhead or a LAD or a DAD or one of the two. I have one of those three in my class, usually. And as you said, I had 2 of them in my other class, my 110 class. I don't remember, but so anyway, 5 pi over 4. You would type that in and get it right. Now these are study plans, so you can do them all day long. This one has a video and a graphic tutorial, so this one has all kind of help. Has a video and a graphic tutorial. Okay, who has a question so far on homework, on tests? On anything having to do with MyLabs Plus? Who's got questions? Nobody has questions.
We're starting with something.
Yeah, we're going to start here in just a minute. So if I cover chapter 8.1, section 8.1, then what should you look for tonight on MyLabs Plus? And you should be working on it. And then you should start sending questions in. But I'm not going to start on 8.1. I'm going to start on the algebra review, because that's what you should be working on. So let's take it back. Nobody's got any questions. Let me open this up. Does anybody have any questions about anything having to do with class or MyLabs Plus? I covered everything so well that y'all just don't have any questions whatsoever. I'm sorry, what? What did you say? Oh, is that what it is? Okay, nobody has any questions? Okay. I'm connecting to my course for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, is this 111? Yeah. And I'm going to pull up the homework. And we're going to look at some of these questions. It says orientation. I want you to do the orientation. This tells you how to get around MyLabs Plus, especially these 4 or 5 people that have not used MyLabs Plus. Make sure you do the orientation homework. It does count as part of your grade, so if you don't do it, you'll get a 0, and that'll bring down your grade after termination, after the last day of class, and then you'll end up calling me and saying, why is my grade not where it was, and I won't answer you, and then you'll get mad and call Miss Califomo and say I'm a terrible teacher. Right? Right. All right, factor out the greatest common term. What? Factor out the greatest common factor from the polynomial. You can't factor out. You got to do it first, then you can factor out. You can't factor out there. I don't want to do that one yet. I want to do number 1. Let's do number 1. All right, what does number 1 say? Okay, we're not going to do that one either. 3 to the 0 power. 1, way to go. Not like my neighbor. I had a neighbor one time, I told y'all this if you were in my 110 class. Called me up. I'm mad at this dadgum calculator. I spent $125 on this calculator and it's broke. My daughter don't even know how to use it. Will you come over here and tell me how to use this thing? Oh, yeah. I go in and she threw it at me basically and says, "This is stupid." I said, "Okay." I said, "What are you trying to do?" "Raise 1 to the 29th power, and it keeps giving me 1. So, be careful when you're ranting and raving. Be careful on what you ask, because you may hang a sign around your neck that says what?
I am stupid.
Yeah. How do you tell a neighbor that they're wrong? All right, here is basic power rule. 4 times 2 is what?
8.
Okay, so that's 3 to the 8. So you type in 3, shift 6, 8. Unless it asks for the BA number. If it asks for the BA number, then you type it in your calculator, 3, caret symbol 8, which is some BA number. Excellent. I would put, well, they'll get harder. You'll end up quitting soon. I'd love to do that. I would be fired within a week. Next one. Okay, find the product. Here we go. FOIL method. Go ahead and do that one. This is kind of a, after we do 2 or 3 of these, we'll jump into the middle of the homework and we'll, at least it's not like the algebra review you get in calculus. We did that today and there were some people hurting. I hadn't done algebra in 2 years, 2 semesters. First, outer, inner, last. Or if you're not from around here, it's first, outside, inside, last. People not from around here, they don't know what outer and inner is. Outside, inside. Pendleton. Belton. Williamstown. Clemson. So that's going to give us 6. W. You say W. You don't say W. You say W, you're racist and redneck. You got to say W. W squared. And then what? Outside is 10, inside is 9, so that'd be 1W. And then minus what? 15. Using your FOIL method. Say it however you would like to. Excellent. Now you're supposed to put the nasal in it, remember? There you go. All right, let's move along. Let's get to a shortcut. There's a shortcut. Shortcut number 1. What the hell do you mean shortcut, Hubert? Don't forget your shortcuts. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on. Well, I just lost it. Word. I pulled it up from one of my classes, and I bet I can't pull it up now. Nope. Nope. I have to pull it up again. Y'all go ahead and work the problem.
Plus 2x.
Good job. Y'all must have had a good algebra teacher. Who was y'all's algebra teacher? Okay. Moron. Okay, y'all don't know what y'all are doing. Thought y'all had a good algebra teacher. College algebra, functions. Those of you that don't have the shortcuts, there. I pulled it up. Oh, I know what I did.
I think I
open.
wrote down some of the quotes in here.
No, don't read out none of my quotes.
We use them a lot.
Do you? Okay.
And the good thing is one giant.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Now, I haven't quite learned how to do this yet, so
Okay, here's one. If you don't get the y-intercept, will you tell anyone? No. You're going to have a sign around your neck saying, please don't be offended. I'm stupid.
you need to quit writing things down, okay? There you go. Write them down. There they are. Those are your shortcuts.
I messed up.
Yeah, it was on the news this morning. There is a school down in Florida
Yeah.
that is passing around to all of their students a waiver from saying their pledge to the allegiance to the flag.
I think we're doing this good news.
I put a very big rant on Facebook. You don't want to live by our laws. You don't want to live by our flag. You don't want to live by our Pledge of Allegiance. You know what you can do. I'm not going to say it. It's on my Facebook.
Y'all are friends with them on Facebook?
No. Why?
It's funny.
I don't understand Twitter.
Well, it's not that, it's just that Facebook, you know,
Facebook actually what?
you ever heard of Facebook used in certain countries, they're not providing internet providing in certain countries.
Okay, you said that so quick.
They're,
They're actually doing what?
they are monopolizing internet access in certain countries.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. But I do like it. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with Zuckerberg. He's totally out there floating. He's out there with Oprah and all them. They floating in a fantasy land. She worked her butt off. I do respect her for that. I don't agree with her politically, but she worked her butt off. All right, so there's your shortcuts. If you remember your shortcuts, you take the square of the first term, the square of the last term, plug and chug. Just like the cubes. Take the square of the first term, square of the last term, plug and chug. Now, I don't know how to get at. I think I hit this button right here. Let's see what happens. Oh, I can draw. Oh my gosh. Oh my. We got something new to play with. I can actually draw with the PowerPoint. Let's see what this does. Okay, that's all slides. I want to go back. That covers up the screen, evidently. I want to go back to the whiteboard. Let's see what this. No, I don't want to do that. I want to toggle. Nope. So, what's this? Nope. Oh, that's that. I don't want that either. Okay. So much for that experiment. Now, can I go back? There we go. All right. I forgot the problem. Did I have a problem up? Well, what? Where did it go? Oh, let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, it was on the homework. Thank you. I thought I had it. I'm sorry. I thought I had it on the. Okay, I'll find it. It should have a homework problem somewhere. Quizzes and tests. Okay, I'm trying to find it, people. Where is it? The problem. Somehow I've lost it. There it is. There we go. So this is shortcut number one. Shortcut number one, 16x squared plus 24xy plus 9y squared. That should be it. Thank you. So 16x should it be xy squared? I'm thinking, no, it's x squared plus 24xy plus 9y squared. Well done. All right, let's look and see what else we got. Let's go with that one. Here's another shortcut. Now, it shouldn't take you but just a few minutes. 81x squared plus 54x, good. I am very impressed. Who'd you have for college algebra? Plus 9. That should be your answer. And we got excellent. Okay. Completing the square. Complete the square with that one. Now, of course, half of you are going, huh? Complete the square, what's that? Well, if you had a good algebra teacher, they taught you how to complete the square. If you got cheated, then you don't know how. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on complete the square because you're not going to need it a lot in trig, but you need to have it up there in the forefront. It needs to be in there. So I put that there, and I put this up, and I do transparency, and then I can draw, I think. Now, the only thing about this new program is this program that comes with this is that while it's recording, it has a problem. Have I been recording?
No.
I haven't. I thought I did too. Oh yeah, thank you. That while I'm recording, it hesitates. So just be prepared. If that's the only thing that's happened, I'll take it because I can work with it. I know it gets on y'all's nerves, but all right. So 4a squared plus 8a minus 96 is equal to 0. Okay. And 4a squared plus 8a plus blank is equal to 96 plus blank. We have to factor out the 4 to get a is equal to 1. And whatever we factor, we have to multiply by the right side blank. Now you might want to take your handy dandy highlighter out, and you might want to remember that and that. Because I think in college algebra, I think if y'all remember, we did like 10 or 15 of those problems in class, or completed the square, didn't we? What's half of 2? 1 squared? Is 1. Doesn't that look like Louisiana?
Where is that from?
Somebody tore something off of it. Okay, I was saying it looks like Louisiana. Not probably I don't know. Squirrel! Alright, put a 1 here. And that's going to give us shortcut number what here? Number 1. God, I have a good algebra teacher. 4 times a plus 1 quantity squared is equal to 96 plus 4, 100, or if you're not from around here, 100. So that would give me 4 times A plus 1 quantity squared is equal to 100. And at that point, you have the vertex. What's the vertex? -1 and -100. So it's in the third quadrant. Now finish it out and get your x-intercept. Now I'm going to quiz y'all. Y'all have completed the square before? Y'all seen this before? Okay, you got cheated. You haven't seen it? You got cheated. You've seen it. That's good. You didn't get cheated. What about you? Better than high school? Yep, no, not cheated. If you had 102, I mean, algebra, college algebra, maybe teach you this, you got cheated. And you're gonna see it again in calculus, okay? I'm showing it to you because I'm going through a review and I'm showing you everything, and that's why. And you're gonna see a lot. If you have me for calculus, you're gonna see a whole week of it. All right, the vertex is -1, comma, -100. Take the opposite of both, and that's your vertex. Now finish it. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. A plus 1 quantity squared is equal to 25. A plus 1 is equal to positive or -5. A is equal to, what's 5 minus 1? 4. That's 1 x-intercept. And what's -5 minus 1? All right, so -6. What was the other one? 4. There's your 2 x-intercepts. Well, that's what you get when you factor. So x minus 4, x plus 6. 4 times x minus 4, x plus 6. I'm kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone there for you. Let's see if I'm right. $4. Oops, that's a $sign. 4 parentheses x minus 4. Oh, thank you. Of course, if you did that on test, I wouldn't mark it wrong. A plus 6. Wow, look at there. I can do complete the square and it'll still give me the same answer. Okay, so that's that one. You can use factoring if you want to. I just wanted to bring up complete the square just so you won't forget it. There's the difference of 2 squares. What's that one? Well, not that one. This one right here. 4v plus 11, 4v minus 11. Shortcut number what?
2.
Y'all suck. Drop slips downstairs. Huh? Shortcut 3. Difference of 2 what? Difference of 2 squares. Shortcut number 3. What's the square root of 16v squared? 4v. What's the square root of 121? 4v plus 11, 4v minus 11. Now, like I say, I don't expect for y'all to know if you want to send these to me tonight when you're doing the homework, that's fine. I'm just trying to go over a little bit. I've showed you the shortcuts, the complete the square. You probably need to, what time's class over so I know? How much?
12:35.
Okay. I need to take the roll anyway, so we'll stop there and I will shut down the recorder and take the roll. Or did I take the roll?